G'day there, it's Dave here, Dave Mills, with another exciting beginner video, and I'm going to be giving you some secrets of the game that will catapult you and is absolutely brilliant. So the genius of this knowledge is that it's going to, like I said, catapult you, but it's like the spice. It's like the aromas. It's the chili. It's the chili that makes the curry. Chili is really, really powerful. And I'm going to give you the chess secrets as a beginner. The chili that you're going to be able to use very quickly in a fast game. Now it has to do with the open board. Now I'm going to do several videos just on the open position. What does that mean when the position is open? Okay, it means that there's open files, particularly in the center. Now, so what is a closed file? What is an open file? Well, at the start of the game, you have 8 closed files. Files are squares that run up and down the board. You can see that very clearly here. And there's a closed file. Now, if I remove one of these pawns, it's now a half open file. Half open. Alright, but whose side is it half open for? White. And where do you want to put your heavies, your rooks? On open or half open files, particularly towards the center. What we actually see here is an open file. Okay, both pawns have been removed, both center pawns, both queen pawns, and we can see that very, very clearly that is an open file. So what does it mean to have an open center? What does it mean to have an open center? It means that the center pawns are gone. Okay? So the center pawns are gone. It means, now what does it mean by a half open center? A half open center is when one of the center pawns on either side is gone. Alright? And a variation of that could be where they're on different files. And some call it semi-closed or half open. When it comes to an open position, we can see how that king file is open. We can see how this is an open center. When the center is open, there's some very simple rules, the chili, that you can actually learn, spice, to make you play really well. Here's rule number 1. Rule number 1, chili number 1, is do not move pawns. Moving your pawns is a bad idea. They're very slow, and and they can expose weak squares in your half of the board. When the center is open, do not move pawns. Number 2, you want to put your pieces in the center. You want to put your pieces in the center. Okay? So, number 1, when the center is open, rule number 1 is don't move pawns. Rule number 2 is put your pieces in the center, use the open center, rooks on the open files in the center. King, castle to safety. Okay? Rule number 3. Rule number 3, when the center is open, is you want to point your attack at the enemy king. And what do I mean by that? What I mean by that is that the king is castled and the king is castled, and I'm pointing my bishops, I'm pointing my pieces in the center at the king. I'm focused on the king with my pieces. I want to do what's called a running game. I want to run with my pieces to their end zone. Alright? I can lift and bring it over. I want to actually attack the king, and I want to stay centralized. So rule number 1 is don't move pawns. Rule number 2 is put your pieces in the center. Rule number 3 is point your pieces at the enemy king. Rule number 4